1 month of trying to improve my life before the end of 2025. We have 4 categories. 1 month has passed. Let's check in. So the 4 categories that we had were social media habit / obsession, disconnectedness / loneliness, performance, and movement. Let's check in for all of those and see if anything has changed so far. Let's start with the social media habit. This one is one that we can get out of the way pretty quickly. My goal was to have like 3 to 4 social media check-ins each day and one doom scroll of like 20-ish minutes every single day that is allowed. How have I succeeded with that? Some days better than others, definitely. This has definitely been a journey. So some days I can mostly stick to this, and I have mostly stuck to this, but other days not so much. I've had a lot of chronic pain flare-ups this month. This past month, because today's like the 2nd of September or something. So I have had quite a few pain flare-ups, and when I have those, it's just, there's only so much I can do. Like I can only function on a basic level, and that does include like things like watching TV and reading, but it also sometimes includes just passing my time on my phone a little bit. Maybe I need to calculate that in a little bit better. When the flare-ups are really bad, maybe I need to give myself a little more leeway and not feel mad at myself for doing that, because that's not something that's in my hands, to be honest. So I just have to accept that that's the way it is. So was this successful? Somewhat. I do feel like there have definitely been weeks over the last month that I've spent a lot less time on my phone. There have also definitely been days where I've spent a lot more time on my phone. It's the up and down of life, and I think a little bit of variation is to be expected, and a little bit of sliding into it and getting used to this concept is also to be expected. Our next one was disconnectedness / loneliness. How successful have I been in this one? A little bit. I have tried to use each chance that has been given to me to meet up with people. So I have been reconnecting, or rather connecting because I don't know her very well, with a relative that lives in the city. She is a little bit older than me, but like she has a very similar life in a lot of respects to me, and we've had a really good time meeting up occasionally, and that was really fun. I think that definitely helps me feel a little more connected to this city that I live in. One thing I did notice, and I do notice every time after I meet her, and I've seen her like once a month, I need regular friend meetings. I would love to have that, like every or almost every weekend, meet up with a friend just for a coffee, a tea, a little walk, because right now the weather is still really nice, so walking is definitely an option. When it's like -20 degrees and windy, no thank you. I would love to have more friendships and build more friendships so that, you know, I have people who I can meet up with every weekend or almost every weekend. That would be really nice. The next thing is the local university where I live offers workout courses, and it's not just the university students that can go to those. They have like a lot of variety. I can go there too. And the thing with that is I am obviously limited with my work times, so there's a lot of courses I simply cannot do because of the work times that I have, because at least 70% of the courses fall into the time, but I am looking into the few that do not fall into that time and trying to see which one of those might work for me. And I think I would really enjoy doing a workout class. Yes, it's mostly going to be students, like university students, so somewhere between probably 18 and 25, but I am 28. I'm not that much older than that, especially if there's some like master's students and stuff. Let's see. Maybe there's other people who work at the university or people from outside the university in general that also come to these classes or will come to a class that I end up picking. So there's definitely potential in this one. I'm looking at it at the moment and I'm the registration period hasn't started yet. So I'm going to do that this week and see which ones I might want to sign up for. I will probably end up signing up for only one because I only have limited time and physical resources too, as somebody with chronic pain. So that's where we're at with that. I feel like I've made a little bit of progress and I am trying my best to put myself out there, but there's also definitely still a way to go. Definitely. But I'm trying my best for sure. The third part that I wanted to work on was performance. I have spent and invested quite a lot of time into this one. This one is a really tough one. The thing is, I wrote to like half a dozen venues in the city that I live in. There aren't more venues than that. I wrote to all that would accept my genre of music in general, because there are a few that have very specific genre requirements that I don't fall into. And I got one reply back, actually. But eventually they ended up ghosting me when I started asking questions about things like equipment, which was very strange. And truth be told, in this conversation, this was not the first time that I started feeling a bit weird about it. So I think it was a blessing in disguise that they ghosted me and that I am not going to be performing there. So that's okay. I would have loved to have a full-on official performance, but I think it wasn't meant to be. This one wasn't meant to be. The only other thing that I'm thinking about, because nobody writes back to me, and I might write to some of them again, but we'll see. I don't want to be too bothersome. But maybe I'll try busking again. Maybe. My city is very strict about busking. There's only a few locations within the city you're allowed to do it in, and during a specific time frame each day and not on the weekends. Most of the places where you're allowed to do it are really loud, either really loud, so like there's lots of traffic and lots of people going past, so it's really loud, and you're not allowed amplification, so you practically will be drowned out. Or it's really quiet places that are kind of creepy during the time where you're allowed to do that. So there's like honestly only really one spot that is good, and that is almost always occupied, to be completely honest. So I tried a little bit of busking last year already. I scoped out different places, tried out different places. It was not fantastic, but maybe that's the only choice I really have. So I guess I'll try and go there again and do that. Yeah. I mean, aside from my regular TikTok live streams, I guess that is, at the moment, as nobody is writing back, my only option for regular performance, where I don't really need anything organizational around it and administrative, like no email exchanges, anything like that. All I have to do is show up with my guitar within the time frames, obviously, that are allowed. Why is this so difficult? I do live in a city where performance opportunities, especially for smaller artists, are really, 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 really limited. And that's not very fun, to be honest. It's not very fun that you can write dozens of emails, you can ask, you can do whatever you want, and you end up still not getting anything. I practice. I keep trying. I still have the dream of performing. There's the other thing that I know that some people have suggested to me in the past, not on this channel, but elsewhere, of open mic nights. There's not a single open mic night where I live. There used to be, I think 2 years ago, and it was a one, but they ended up not continuing those because it would be 1 or 2 people that would hog the spot and the stage for forever, pretty much. So they didn't do that. So I don't have that opportunity. And the next big cities that might offer me like good opportunities are like 2.5 to 3 hours away by train. Well, if you add all the public transportation, like 3.5 hours. Yeah, that's great. I have considered moving, especially in the last half year or so. I've thought about moving sometimes because I feel like I'm not getting the opportunities here that I could probably get in a lot of other places. At the same time, finding a decent enough job that I can do with all my physical issues and that pays me enough to live off of it without having to work full time is really difficult. So I am kind of in a dilemma here. Yeah, something I keep thinking about and I'll probably keep thinking about for a while. The last goal I had for these 5 months, and also for the first month, of course, was movement. I had pretty specific goals, like dancing a few minutes every single day, doing strength workouts twice a week and cardio twice a week, and obviously starting slowly and then building up. And of course, I have a basis from which to start, like I'm not a beginner at exercising. But the thing is, I've had so many flare-ups of chronic pain this month. So in the end, I didn't do a lot of movement. I did try to walk as much as I could to get my body moving a little bit at least, but there hasn't been a lot of dedicated physical education kind of kind of movement. Oh my gosh, PE classes. Yeah. My PE teacher used to be really strict. This is something I will try to incorporate a little more this month, where possible. Generally, the goal for September is going to be obviously the disconnectedness and loneliness part. Attend all the things that I can with a lot of new things starting, and sign up for ones that are only starting in October, which would be the workout classes. Then we have the being on my phone too much, which I will try my best to stick to as much as I can. We need to break this habit as much as we can, honestly, seriously. I've realized a lot that this is often just convenience, something I'm just used to. I'll just grab my phone, even if I don't really need to. So we're trying to get away from that a little bit. Concerning performance, I guess I'll get back to maybe preparing a little bit of a live set that I can play with my guitar and then go busking. Even if I just play like, I don't know, 5 songs, doesn't really matter as long as I go and play again. And so the goal for that would be probably preparing for like the next week or two and then going busking. And concerning movement, I would say, I don't know how my flare-ups are going to be over the next few weeks. I don't know how my body is going to be acting. I never know. But we are entering fall in September, and as soon as the weather kind of cools down a little bit, my body should usually calm down a little bit more too. So fall and winter tend to be physically my most stable times of the year. So I will try to incorporate as much movement as is good for me and as works for me at the time, and try my best wherever I can, whenever it feels okay to do so. That is my check-in for August, even though it's already the start of September. I will be back with you again next week with another video and with another check-in in about a month. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you very soon again. Bye! HSV or something.